Network. It's been a beautiful day today. It's been a beautiful day today. That is what we'll be expecting. Um, His Excellency came out today to speak, and it was really wonderful. And not just in fact, both Excellencies, Mr. Peter Obi and his VP, they were on air today, and Nigerians. I just want you guys to have a rethink. Have a rethink. Do you want your country to be how do you want your country to be? Are you happy with what's happening right now in Nigeria? Are you satisfied? Are you impressed of what is happening? Um, we all need to wake up. Okay, we all need to wake up. We all just need to wake up. I will play the video of the press conference of His Excellency Peter Obi. It's a long video. We'll just painfully listen to him. Then after that, Ahmed Dathi had interview with Arise TV. I will play the two videos. Look, it's very crystal clear right now. The ball is in our court. You don't need Peter Obi to come out to tell you what you need to do. Nigeria belongs to all of us. It belongs to you and I. Do you get it? So um you don't need somebody to come and tell you what to do. You don't need it again. You have to take your country back. You have to do it. Take your country back. Take your country back. How do you want your country to be? That is the question. How do you want it to be? It's a question you have to ask yourself and answer for yourself. And Peter Obi today, he was just so, he's a peaceful guy. Peaceful guy. He wants the best for Nigeria. You can see he's a guy that from the heart you can see you will hear what he's saying. He speaks from the heart. He wants the best for the country. The best for the country. Anyway, they stole your votes, Nigerians. Know that they stole your votes. Your vote was stolen. Broad daylight. You guys are quiet. This night's speech with that speech, his interview with Arise TV, it has shown clearly that this is now between Nigeria people, between Nigerians, and taking that country back. It's there for you. Don't wait for Peter Obi. Don't wait for Ahmed Dathi. They've done their part. They have went to court. The court has done its worst. And now the battle is between you and the forces, evil forces, evil forces. That is the truth. These people, they've been there for years. They don't want to live there. They stole your mandate and we are all quiet. They stole your mandate and we are all just down quiet, sitting down, feeling comfortable. People are dying in Nigeria. Look, um, I don't know how I'm going to put it right now. We all need to wake up. It's your civic duty. It's our civic duty. Everyone, both in diaspora, anywhere you are, it's our duty to defend your country, defend the constitution, and make things right for everyone, for people, for the good of everyone. Be you from anywhere, irrespective of your religion, of your tribe. Well, this is just so annoying. It's so annoying. Let me just start by playing the conference of today from the World Conference with Obi. It taught us. It taught us so many things. So many things. I will play that. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit. Then we now play the interview of Ahmed Dathi. We'll play it. Guys, I want you to listen. Just listen carefully. Then take your. You have to. If you be sleeping, you have to wake up. Nigeria is in the hands of jackass, of people that don't really care about Nigeria, about your future. We need to take it back, man. Anyway, let's listen to him. Let's listen to Peter B. His Excellency Peter B. This is a man I respect him. I respect him a lot for his beliefs, for his actions, for what he's doing. I respect Peter B a lot. I respect him a lot. And kudos to him. Kudos to him. Kudos to Ahmed Dathi. The two of them. Kudos to you guys, man. You fought the fight, and the fight continues. You said the fight continues, and the fight continues. Right now, the fight is between the voices of Nigerian people. That's the fight right now. The voices, the power is in the voice of the people. It's in the hands of the people, not just for the few political class. Man, let's play the video first, okay? Let's listen to him. Let's listen to His Excellency Peter B. Please, as you
Supreme Court judgment where he and Atiku Abubakar of the PDP lost. Let's listen in.
Follow us, okay?
We were taught values
Please
and admonished to always
share the video, make comments.
Choose harder rights.
What do you think?
Instead of easier wrong.
Make comment. Don't be scared.
Certain legal issues
make comment.
aside,
what do you think we need to do?
The Supreme Court exhibited a disturbing aversion to public opinion, just as they abandoned its responsibility as court of law and policy. It is therefore with great dismay that I observe that the court's decision contradicts the overwhelming evidence of election rigging, false claim of technical glitch, substantial non-compliance to the rules set by INEC itself, as well as matters of perjury, identity theft, and forgery that has been brought to light in course of this election matter. These are hefty allegations that should not have been treated with levity. More apparent, the Supreme Court's judgment willfully condoned breaches of the Constitution relative to established qualifications and parameters for candidates in presidential elections. With this counterintuitive judgment, the Supreme Court has transferred a heavy moral burden from the courtroom to our national conscience. Our young democracy is ultimately the main victim and casualty of the courtroom drama. Without equivocation, this judgment amounts to a breach of confidence of Nigerians have in our judiciary. To that extent, it is a show of unreasonable force against the very Nigerian people from whom the power of the Constitution drives. The Supreme Court's ruling may represent the state of the law in 2023, but not present demand for substantive justice. The judgment missed principles and precedents. Indeed, the rationale and premise of the Supreme Court judgment have been clearly brought to light by deep, revealing, and troubling valedictory remarks of Honorable Justice Musa Dati Mohammed, JSC on Friday, 27th, 2023. In disagreeing very strongly with the ruling of both the Presidential Petition Court and the Supreme Court on the outcome of the 25th February presidential election as declared by the Independent Electoral Commission, as Democrats who believe in the rule of law, we recognize that the Supreme Court is the end stage of our quest for legal closure on this matter. As a party and candidate, Dathi and I have now exhausted all legal and constitutional remedies available to us. However, this end is only another beginning of our quest for vindication of hope of the common man for a better Nigeria. After all, sovereignty belongs to the people, if only for historical purposes. It behoves us to place our disagreement with and deep reservation about this judgment on public record. We have long been aware of how weak the national institutions have negatively affected our democracy. This year, 2023, has been quite remarkable and revealing. INEC displayed incompetence in the conduct of its statutory duties. The judiciary has largely acted in defiance of the constitutional tenets, precedents, and established ground rules. Political expediency has preceded judicial responsibility. A mechanical application of technicalities has superseded pursuit of justice and fairness. Both INEC and Supreme Court, as referees, respectively, shifted the goalposts in the middle of the game. Where the value and import of INEC and recent Supreme Court ruling ends is where our commitment to a new Nigeria begins. Our mission has been more about anchoring a new Nigeria, and it remains unchanged. It is a nation where things will work, where the country will be led from its present waste and consumption orientation to a production-driven economy. Our commitment is to a nation anchored on principles of prudent management of resources, to quickly pull millions out of multidimensional poverty, ensuring transparency and accountability in equitable distribution of opportunities, resources, privileges. In the new Nigeria, we aim to address all unmet needs by showing compassion for all those left behind by the present system. Going forward, we in Labour Party and the Obedient Movement are now effectively in opposition. We are glad that the nation has heard us loud and clear. We shall now expand the confines of our message of hope to the rest of the country. We will meet the people in their places where they feel pain and answer the needs for hope. At marketplaces, motor parks, town halls, boardrooms, university, and college campuses, we will carry and deliver the message of a new Nigeria. As stakeholders and elected Labour Party officials, we will remain loyal to our manifesto. We will continue to canvass good governance and focus on issues that promote national interest and unity and cohesion. We will continue to give primacy to our Constitution, rule of law, and the protection of ordered liberties. We will offer checks and balances and will vie robustly in forthcoming elections to elect those who share our vision of a new Nigeria. Given the present national circumstance, there is compelling need for a strong political opposition. We shall therefore remain in opposition, especially because of the policies and governance modalities that we in Labour Party campaign for, especially the issue of reducing cost of governance, moving the country from waste and consumption to production, reducing inflation, ending insecurity, promoting the rule of law, guaranteeing the responsibility to protect and stabilize our national currency are clearly not the priorities of the present administration, nor is it interested in achieving sustainable development goals. It has one thing that has gladdened my heart in course of the struggle in the past 18 months. It is the passionate desire of our people, especially young Nigerians from across ethnic and religious divides, to construct a new and restructured Nigeria that will work for all Nigerians. The goal remains the guiding light and abiding inspiration. Finally, I thank all Nigerians who believed in what is now only a revolution postponed. We deeply appreciate the unalloyed, non-partisan moral support millions of youths and ordinary Nigerians across ethnic, religious, geopolitical divides have continued to give Dathi and I. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Nigerians who have supported this mission from the onset. We salute the leadership and members of Labour Party, the Obedient Movement, the Obedient Presidential Campaign, Nigerians in diaspora, support groups, and all people of goodwill who worked diligently and hoped for realization of the beginning of new Nigeria in this election cycle. Nigerians who supported our cause have done so out of patriotism and their sincere conviction that our nation requires and deserves dedicated and visionary leadership who will lead Nigeria toward a brighter future. The energy and dedication of Nigerian youth and obedient movement have been simply amazing. I appreciate and salute them. I want to assure them that this is not the end of our journey, but in fact, the beginning. Nigerians heard you. The world have taken note and will not forget easily. We shall endure, persist, until we reach our destination, because the new Nigeria is our destination. A destination is not an event. We thank in a special way our legal team. We also thank elder statesmen whose wise counsel were immeasurable. To them, we wish to state unequivocally that this judicial outcome, an obvious misinterpretation of substantial justice, has by no means foreclosed realization of a new Nigeria that is possible. On personal note, I take pride and express gratitude to those who share our vision, who have exhibited rare courage to challenge the nefarious system, the genuineness of individuals, identities, and their defining and qualifying particulars up to the highest extent allowed by law. Nigeria holds out, and obedient movement have been simply amazing. I appreciate and salute them. I want to assure them that this is not the end of our journey, but in fact, the beginning. Nigerians heard you. The world have taken note and will not forget easily. We shall endure, persist, until we reach our destination, because the new Nigeria is our destination. A destination is not an event. We thank in a special way our legal team. We also thank elder statesmen whose wise counsel were immeasurable. To them, we wish to state unequivocally that this judicial outcome, an obvious misinterpretation of substantial justice, has by no means foreclosed realization of a new Nigeria that is possible. On personal note, I take pride and express gratitude to those who share our vision, who have exhibited rare courage to challenge the nefarious system, the genuineness of individuals, identities, and their defining and qualifying particulars up to the highest extent allowed by law. Nigeria holds out hope of infinite possibilities leading to a desirable greatness. I remain consistent in my belief of a possibility of a new Nigeria built on character, competence, capacity, compassion, integrity, respect for the rule of law based on justice and fairness. God bless you all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
That was a press conference. There'll be questions and answers also. Let's listen to the questions.
Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi addresses the international media where he criticized the Supreme Court for affirming the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential election. He says the judgment is a breach of confidence that Nigerians have in the judiciary and an unnecessary show of force in enforcing illegality. Peter Obi says he disagrees strongly with the ruling of both the Election Petition Tribunal and the Supreme Court, even though he acknowledges that the Supreme Court ruling marks the end of a search for justice over the conduct of the 2023 presidential election. The Labour Party flag bearer also heaped criticism on INEC for failing to carry out its duties of conducting free and fair election. He, however, says his vision to unveil a new Nigeria that is productive, corruption-free, equitable and just remains intact. This, he believes, will be achieved by the Labour Party and the Obedient Movement playing its role as a viable opposition party while calling for good governance, rule of law, offering checks and balances against the excesses of the present administration. Peter Obi ended his press conference by thanking all Nigerians who supported his candidacy, adding that the Supreme Court ruling only marks a revolution postponed as the struggle to build a new Nigeria continues.
Some questions and answers. Well, let's just listen to the question answer. Then definitely we need to wake up really. We Nigerians, we need to wake up, take the country back. He has said it. He has done his part. He has come to that.
Well, thank you very much. Let me first.
The Supreme Court is the end for him. But now
elucidate
it's
a
not
bit.
the end. It's just the beginning.
Supplementary budget.
Let's listen to him.
Is a budget that is meant for very important national welfare need of the people that is not captured originally in budget or does not have adequate funding. I'll give you an example. Nigeria today, we've read it in the past 1 week for United Nations World Food Organization that 26.5 million Nigerians will go hungry next year. This is an issue of national importance that we can go for supplementary budget. But we have a supplementary budget where we are mentioning issues of yachts, SUVs for First Lady's office, shows to the extent that its government is totally uncaring and we're in deep problem. It shouldn't be part of that. In fact, bringing in First Lady's office, which is not in our constitution, is even more troubling. All funds meant for First Lady's office should be allocated and addressed to dealing with the girl-child issue of education, to deal with the issue of education of the girl child in Nigeria. The First Lady is there to look after the husband and work with him and everything to ensure that everything works well. So for me, the other one you ask is the issue of SUV for National Assembly. Again, I can put it in the same basket that I put the earlier one. It's very troubling. The SUVs for both houses will cost in region of, I think it's in the region of about 60 billion, if I'm right. Nigeria today, our primary health care today is collapsed. Which consequently, Nigeria now have higher infant mortality than India, a country that is 7 times our population. For you now to use funds that is higher than the fund allocated to primary health care to buy a car for 400 people, it shows height of insensitivity. And we have a way we can buy a more competitive vehicle and everything for them, even from locally made. And most of them, even in the Senate, are people who already have cars. We don't really need to buy vehicles for them because some of them are my colleagues, ex-governors and everything. Do they need new cars again? It is time we must shake and show responsibility to what is happening. People, Nigerians, are already scamping for food from waste bin. And we're doing this. It shouldn't be. And I can go further to give you an example of how I handled it even when I was governor. So it's not the first time. When I became governor, I found out that the justices of High Court don't have cars in Anambra State. The permanent secretaries don't have cars. And when I became governor, they ordered for me 2 bulletproof vehicles. And I said no. Collect the money back, paid it to PAN, and said supply us 60 406 cards. 18 to the justices, 18 to PAMSEC, few to the commissioners that are appointed. The rest became my deputy governor and myself. Throughout my first term, everybody in Anambra said I used 406. Nobody, but it was meant for 2 bulletproof cars, the money we used to buy these cars, and nobody killed us in that 4 years. So it is time for us to use money very judiciously.
Thank you.
My name is Georgina from Radio Nigeria. Now that the Apex Court have passed the final judgment, how do we build a nation to avert these court cases in subsequent elections?
Well, as you can see, everybody have done now that all institutions are broken down. Like it's been now shown, it is now for all of us to work hard together to ensure that we save the country. Those who are in office should do the right things. Those who are in opposition should ensure that the right things are done. And we will do so on our own part aggressively.
Friday.
Excellency, my name is Friday. I work for Channels TV. I'd like to ask you, sir. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, when he also briefed on this same topic, the Supreme Court judgment, he made some recommendations. One of the recommendations I can remember vividly now is this recommendation for a single term of 6 years on a reputational basis, reputational presidency. What's your view on that? And I just want to take you quickly on the issue that my colleague from Daily Trust raised, the issue of cars for people in the National Assembly. It is true that your party is in opposition now, since by virtue of the judgment of the Supreme Court. But you have your members of your party who are in the Senate, like we have one of them here. We also have some of them also in the House of Representatives. They are beneficiaries of this. So, to what extent are you going to engage with them? And of course, those lawmakers at the state level, so that they will stand different from other lawmakers in these parties that seem to be doing things contrary to your vision.
Let me start with the issue of Labour Party members in the House. I've actually discussed this issue with them. Surprisingly, I can tell you, I heard that these vehicles are official cars. And I don't know, they have to use it. It's meant for official vehicle. So it's not as if it's their vehicle that is meant for official cars and everything. Because we can pay for it and say, listen, if it's your car, you return it or do something. But they said it's official cars. And that everybody is meant to do it. You're meant to use it while you're in the Senate. But you know how things work here. It's not going to be like that. But, so, what I say people is that it won't be if Labour, if we were in office, nobody would have contemplated such. And that's where we want to go from. Because it is not enough to do the wrong thing and then start correcting it, but it shouldn't even be. Just like people are saying, oh, maybe the issue of years have withdrawn, or this one, it shouldn't even be mentioned in the first place, because it touches the sensibilities of people to do that. On issue of the single tenor, we campaigned vigorously on issue of restructure and reform. So that is clear. And that would have included so many amendments to make this constitution be a workable and functional constitution that will be productive for Nigeria. Including in that would have been issue of single tenor. I thank Vice President Atiku Abubakar for his position and his commitment to ensure that things work better going forward in Nigeria. But I disagree slightly. I will go for 5-year tenure, which will go for 30 years, rotational, or 5-year tenure. And I'll still campaign for one thing. If we cannot go back to issue of parliamentary democracy, we must have a quasi system that will allow our leaders elected, whether prime minister or president, to be able to be part of the legislature, especially to answer questions, maybe presidential question time or prime minister question time, instead of hiring surrogates and people who are not elected, who have nothing to be canvassing and telling us stories. We want to hear from the people we elected now. And that is critical. It's very important. We cannot continue with this way where we are now, where people have outsourced leadership.
Thank you.
Hello? Okay. Hello?
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. I'm my name and I report for the general election. There were calls for you and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party to come together and unite to fight the APC government. And after the elections, people were still saying that if you had obeyed such calls, that we would have been having a different story now. Do you regret not answering those calls? And do we see you collapsing your structure to have this kind of a thing in the future?
Thank you.
Thank you. We don't regret anything we did. We came out and campaigned on a new Nigeria. No other party did. And our position remain consistent. We're consistently consistent on that. On a new Nigeria. A Nigeria where things will be done properly. So we're not regretting anything. We don't know who knows tomorrow. If you can predict tomorrow, I don't think you'll be here. We can't predict tomorrow, but I'm telling you where we are. Our commitment is on a new Nigeria, and we remain committed to it.
My name is Rebroadcast, East Nigeria. To make an assumption to being a strong opposition to this ruling government, the charity begins at two. First and foremost, I know that there's crisis in Labour Party. Even the German state, there's crisis in Edo. From what we have read so far and what we have seen so far, how do we intend to reconciliate everybody across the country so that we can have a viable opposition?
Okay.
I hope this is the last one.
Yeah, the last one. The last one from the air. The last one from the air.
My addition is that since you have exhausted all the legal means to reclaim the mandate, many of your supporters, the young Nigerians, they are tired, thinking that is it going to remain like this with the way the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Tribunal has settled this situation. So many of them are drawing back. What advice will you give to them to reclaim that hope of a new Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much. That's what we just said. For us, it's a destination. We're committed to where we're going, and nothing will stop that. That is our commitment. And the question before that, where is the man who asked the question before that? On issue of our party. The leadership of our party is not in question. Like it is in every system, especially these are the troubling things that is happening in Nigeria, where people are trying to bring in divisions in other people's houses. The Supreme Court has said those who are leadership of our party, and it's not based on judgment that is purchased or manipulated. It is based on the rule of law. That is this. This is what it is. And that will follow, and that will respect. And I assure you that in coming months, we will make the party stronger. We will build it. Those young people he's mentioned that are virtually tired and we'll re-energize them. We'll make sure that they walk down the road. We make sure that we carry them along to our destination. We are committed to it. Labour Party, the obedient movement, everybody will come out of this stronger, better, more committed to a new Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Thank you.
You've been watching a live broadcast from the nation's capital, Abuja, where the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has been speaking to the media on his reservations about the Supreme Court ruling and the state of the nation. While criticizing the ruling of the Supreme Court, he also acknowledged that welfare of the judiciary is lacking while those in power live an ostentatious lifestyle. Peter Obi, who says all institutions in the country have broken down, promised to keep pushing for a new Nigeria as an opposition figure while calling for restructuring and a return to the
we carry them along to our destination. We are committed to it. Labour Party, the obedient movement, everybody will come out of this stronger, better, more committed to a new Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Thank you.
You've been watching a live broadcast from the nation's capital, Abuja, where the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has been speaking to the media on his reservations about the Supreme Court ruling and the state of the nation. While criticizing the ruling of the Supreme Court, he also acknowledged that welfare of the judiciary is lacking while those in power live an ostentatious lifestyle. Peter Obi, who says all institutions in the country have broken down, promised to keep pushing for a new Nigeria as an opposition figure while calling for restructuring and a return to the parliamentary system of government.
Yeah, and that was today's press conference. His Excellency Peter Obi, and we all heard him. Okay, on this evening, the verse, Ahmed Dathi had a real interview with Arise TV. I love Dathi. He says it as it is. No holding back. As it is. Look, Nigeria, the ball is in our court. The ball is in our court. We have to take it back. Nigeria is now or never. You know, I love that song by Sono Koso. Nigeria is now or never. Whether we lose it, whether we win it, or we'll lose it forever. Whether we lose it, whether we win it, or we'll lose it forever. This is the time right now, man. Yes, Supreme Court has failed the people woefully. They used to say Supreme Court is the highest, it's the house hope of the common man. But man, it's just the frustrate the common man. That is the truth. And we are Nigerians, I don't really get it. Seriously. They are used to bearing suffering. Not for how long, man. For how long we continue to live like that? Enough is enough. We have to take Nigeria back. I will play the interview of Ahmed Dathi with Arise TV this evening. He has said it, that the power belongs to the people. It's now left for the people. It's now left for the people. Guys, let's help our country. Let's help our people. Let's help the people that are defenseless. We have, the nation is over 200 million in population. Not just the few rascals that are doing as they are doing what they like, and it's just those in diaspora, we like diaspora, we think it's not, most of us think it's not really our business. But man, It's our business. And those people on ground in Nigeria, we really need to sit up and we need to do something, man. Uh, People are suffering. If you don't care about people, care about your country, care about your clan, your village, you just care because it's just so it's a pity. It's just a pity that uh, 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 people are just managing, living with no hope. It's I don't know. It makes me annoying. It makes it, at times watch that video of you see person with passion. These are people with plans of how to take out people from poverty. This government, they have no plan for you. They are thinking of buying SUV, having yachts, buying SUVs for the first lady office. That's what they are interested in. Looting and looting. And these monies are borrowed money. Some are some not even borrowed. They pay on credit, hoping that they will pay with something, with crude oil in later day. It's pathetic. They are storing um it's like they are storing debt for the children, for the future generation. You know, let me tell you one thing. They say the youth owes tomorrow, or the youth are the debt of tomorrow. No, it's not tomorrow. The youth are the debt of now. We want it now. Look, these guys have been in power. They've been there for the past four. If you look at all of them, they've been in Senate, from Senate to governor, governor to Senate. They've been there in Senate, then from there to minister. They've been there for good years. So where would the youth now enter? Now, youth is no longer for tomorrow. Youth now, the leaders of now. Youth, Nigerians, I don't know how to say it. We need to wake up. We need to wake up and change the system. Buhari and the rest, they were Minister of Petroleum when he was 20s. Governor when he was, I think, 30s. Most of this generation now from taking over affairs. What stops us? Must we be bowing to all these people? Must we be servant or a slave forever? How long are you going to live this life? That you just want to be dobale, be worshiping people. This is annoying, man. It's just annoying. Let me play the video of Dathi. When you watch the video of Dathi, and if you don't have a rating, if you don't want to take your country back on your own, that means you need deliverance. I don't know who will deliver you. You need heavy, big deliverance. If you watch the video of Dathi and you still remain the same, you still be hoping for 2017, I mean 2027. That means, man, you don't care for yourself. You don't care for the life of your children. You don't care for the world you live in. You don't want to. You don't care. But that means even if you are a beneficiary of what is happening, the corrupt system, the illegality, you have to sit down to think. Life, power comes and go. What I what will be your legacy? What are you going to leave behind for your children, for the children unborn? Is it houses? Is it mansions? Still, I mean, built with. I'm not against all those stuff, man. Okay, it's nice, but built with stolen money. You should be proud that there is healthcare. You built a healthcare. You built schools for people in your village. This is what should be your pride. What you should be thinking. Okay, this is what I will do. I may have a foundation, have scholarship, helping people. This is what to be thinking about. But some people, they just, I don't know, steal the money and they think that is just that is all that is all about. But anyway, if you watch the interview with Arise TV, Ahmed Dathi, you are still um you are still saying, okay, let's wait 2027. I sorry for you, man. I pity for you. And those people, look, this is not about a party right now. It's not about a Labour Party, it's not about PDP or APC, PDP. No, it's about taking our country back. It's about doing the right thing. It's about having everybody have food on their table, about having good infrastructure, about having good education, about having good health sector. That is having good governance, irrespective of who you are, from irrespective of your tribe or religion. This is what we are saying. This is what we want to. This is what we are saying. This is what we are preaching. Not having a government of irregularity. You came in there through irregularity, through rigging. Oh my God! Oh, thank God that he didn't say congratulations to him because you don't deserve it. You stole the rights of the people. You stole the rights of the people, so you don't deserve to be congratulated. And if he had done that, well, thank God he didn't do that. Thank God he didn't do that. And man, at times I sit down trying to, I just wish people really understand what's happening. This, all these politicians, they don't have the interest of the people at heart. People are dying, people are suffering, school fees are hacked up. People are suffering. They are taking of they are ordering SUVs costing billions of naira. People are suffering. They are thinking of going on going the waterways with yacht. People are suffering. They are thinking of first lady stuff, SUVs and the rest. Okay, okay. Please let me have, what do you think? What is the next step? Because you will listen to Peter to Dathi. He has said it. Peter Obi and him, they've come to the end of the road as per Supreme Court is highest of the land. But the people has the final say. What does that mean? I'm going to play the video. We're going to watch it. After watching it, if you are still like this, you don't want to take your country back, you don't want to do the needful, it will just be it. I mean, it it's gonna be a pity. I mean, is it? That means I would say a sorry state. When you are in a sorry state, that means man, is just um pathetic. Pathetic, man. That means it's pathetic. That means when I say irredeemable, I have to use that word because I believe in possibilities. I believe anything is possible. So I will say irredeemable. Okay. But if you watch the interview of Amindati, you are still saying, I'm from here. I'm from here. So I will support this person because I'm from here. You need deliverance, big deliverance. Because man, this what we are saying. I don't care from where you come from. If you can fix the country, when you come in legally, legitimately, fix the country. I don't care where you come from, man. I don't really care. That is the truth. How the people at heart, man with integrity, man with vision, man that is ready to deliver, man with selfless service. That's what we're taking. That's what we're taking. That's what we're saying. That's why the Dathi and Peter Obi, the tag team was suit for Nigeria. Was suit for Nigeria. And I thank God for all the youth, all the obedience, how they came out to vote. Despite the threat, despite what happened, they came out. But the bar system, the system of criminality disappointed them, disappointed the youth. Now they go back to that share. Guys, we need to wake up. Don't go back to your share. You are a winner. Winners don't quit. Winners don't quit, and quitters don't win. You are a winner. Don't quit. Don't quit. Now is the time. Now is the time we take the country back. Now is the time, man. And Nigeria is blessed. We're so blessed. Really blessed, man. Blessed. Naturally, human resources abound everywhere in all sectors. So nothing can hold our country back. Nothing can stop us. Let's listen to Ahmed Dathi his interview with Arise TV this night after the World Press Conference. So he had the interview with Arise TV. Okay, so let's listen to him. As I said, if you listen to him and oh God, taking our country back, making Nigeria work again. That is the thing. All right, guys, let's listen. But as you watch, please kindly like, share, make comments. What do you think, man? What do you think? That's what I say. What do you think? What do you think we are going to do? You know, I'm not against anybody, man, but I believe in doing things, um, doing things according to how it's supposed to be constitutionally, okay? No regulation, no killings, no using of MC Romo and his cause and the rest of regulation to threaten people. We don't do that. We don't do that. Let's play this video, guys. Please, like the video, share, and make comments, all right? Let's watch. Sorry, just a moment, please.
Now, a fairly determined speech there by Peter Obi today. What was the point of it?
That the judgment eventually and ultimately from the Supreme Court stands accepted largely because we can't do anything about it. We reject it, we disagree with it, and we cannot accept it, but it stands accepted because there is nothing we can do. That is the end of the road for Excellency Peter Obi and myself as candidates. But I think as this interview progresses, I will be able to tell you another point of view. And if I may just begin now, I'm not here to tell Nigerians that oil was discovered and we forgot about agriculture, or that there is unemployment leading to insecurity. I'm here to, for the sake of my country, say things that matter. I'm not here to regurgitate. I'm here to rescue Nigeria.
Well, let's move methodically in that regard, because before the swearing in of President Tinubu on May the 29th, I mean, to give this a bit of historical context, you were emphatic and clear and almost urgent in your call for Mr. Tinubu not to be sworn in. What were your fears and concerns? Because he's obviously been sworn in and the world hasn't come to an end, has it?
Nigeria may come to an end if the world doesn't come to an end. But very valid question. I feared for Tinubu himself, from himself. I feared for the reputation of Nigeria. You see, the international profile of global leaders has risen astronomically, to the extent that royals even discipline their own. Look at the profiles of gentlemen like Xi Jinping of China, all across the world. All of a sudden, we were faced with the dilemma of having to present to the world who our own president to be was. And I was one of those who knew that the answers were not good. The whole country would be put to shame. The last time I spoke, I nearly brought Tinubu's ambition to a screeching halt. This is evident by the events that followed immediately afterwards. One minister wrote the DSS on his company stationery. I don't know how that is possible. And another minister, skipped ECOWAS, skipped AU, and went all the way to Washington to report me. And Nobel laureate, a very, very senior citizen, inviting me to a national debate. And I'm not that smart enough, even though my dear good friend Chimamanda acted on my behalf. And then DSS coming out a week later, under duress, of course, you could see, to do the bidding of that minister. This shows they were scared. My simple point was that no constitution or any part thereof shall be breached in order to install a president. And if that is done, that presidency will remain unconstitutional. And I remain on this point. I pointedly say he must not be sworn in. They have gone ahead to do it. It is not the first time. Out of 16 heads of state stroke presidents of Nigeria, 9 were not elected. 7 were, out of that 7, 1 still part thereof shall be breached in order to install a president. And if that is done, that presidency will remain unconstitutional. And I remain on this point. I pointedly say he must not be sworn in. They have gone ahead to do it. It is not the first time. Out of 16 heads of state stroke presidents of Nigeria, 9 were not elected. 7 were, out of that 7, 1 still remains challenged, Alhaji Tinubu. Challenged. And that is because of the constitutional breach. Now, my attitude from day one was that, based on experiences, let's forget anything electoral. I know the system deeply. My boss, Obi, knows the system deeply. Let's go for the constitutional point. Yes, of course, there is that issue of the forfeiture. There is the forgery. But the clearest one we could get was on the FCT point. Now, get that FCT point, get him not sworn in. There are at least 2 other constitutional channels while sustaining democracy that we could have followed, but they wouldn't.
Right. Well, in that regard, it must have been another aftershock for you then, because both the Election Petitions Tribunal and the Supreme Court have affirmed President Tinubu's victory. I wonder to what extent that has left you personally, politically shaken and unsure of the ground.
Point of correction.
You're talking about.
Point of correction. And this is where I respectfully differ. And it is within my fundamental human rights and constitutional rights to differ. The petition court and the Supreme Court, please quote me on this, did not actually affirm the success of Tinubu's presidency. They upheld the unconstitutionality of that election. And they are happy for it to remain so. And they have the power Nobody can do anything about it. That is why we said it is an unreasonable show of force. If there was something we could do, we would stop it. But we are law-abiding citizens. That is why I'm here sitting with you today and still complaining. I was not shaken one bit. I will never be shaken by certificate forgery, by forfeited money over narcotics. I will never be shaken by IREV switched off in the middle of the game when they saw us winning. Labour Party won 2023 presidential elections. No doubt about it. They are cheats, they are bullies, and they have taken full advantage of the situation in Nigeria. When you ask me what is the situation in Nigeria, I will go ahead and tell you some fundamental things that say why we are in this situation today. Right. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, but let me ask you this, though,
Yes.
because you're making the point, the points you're making, obviously, as you said, that it's your right to air your sort of
Yes.
assessment, but we are now unquestionably in the Tinubu era, and he's clearly made some bold moves since he was sworn in on May the 29th. What do you think his presidency has delivered so far?
Disaster. There is nothing bold or special about making appointments. Anybody can make appointments. Any right-thinking businessman,
like this guy.
any
It's a
public
disaster.
servant can make appointments. There is nothing. People jump over you, pay money, buy appointments. Most of the appointments you see are
Well, that's
paid
an
for.
allegation we can't substantiate, of course.
Anyway, what I'm saying, there is nothing about making appointments. You should be talking about the Naira has fallen down to 1,250. You should be speaking about 26 Nigerian soldiers that were killed in neighboring Niger State, something that has never happened in all Nigerian military missions throughout Africa. Nigerian military are dreaded because they are good, they are professional, yet in our backyard they kill our soldiers under Tinubu. What is bold in having your soldiers being killed? To rub it in, they followed with killing another 8 soldiers. To rub it in, villages, almost on daily basis, that is the news, everywhere in Nigeria. This man has delivered nothing and is poised to deliver nothing.
Well,
they have not moved an inch Nigeria from consumption and waste to production, and they will not do it. They will not stop the killings and start the healing. Well, they will not stop the stealing and start the keeping. And they will not stop slide of Nigeria, and they cannot start the climb.
Well, I mean, the international community, certainly some in the international community, would beg to differ with your assessment, because I wonder what your reaction is to the latest Fitch international ratings agency, which is hugely respected across the world, and that is the front page of this day newspaper today. Fitch has rated Nigeria's credit worthiness as stable. It's given it a B-. I mean, surely that suggests that international confidence, and it did actually say that, in the Tinubu government is growing. Well, can I just make the point? Even though, in fairness to some of the points that you're making, according to Fitch, that rating is constrained by what they described as weak governance, low non-oil revenue, security challenges, which you talked about, high inflation, low forex reserves, and weakness in the exchange rate framework. Nevertheless, for somebody who just started in office about 5-6 months ago, to have that kind of rating from...
I have a lot to say.
Yeah, go ahead. To have that kind of rating is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Charles, it would have been more productive if you listen to Nigerians on the streets. More productive if you go into the villages and find out from those whose families are abducted. Find out from average Nigerian worker, when they go to buy foodstuff in the market, not Fitch. Fitch don't know you. They don't know Nigerians. They don't know. Look, I live on statistics. I eat, I sleep statistics. So does Obi. We create statistics.
Yeah, really. But Fitch are the people who give...
Are you forgetting...
Who impress the international community to bring their investment into this country?
Are you forgetting the likes of Fitch and those rating agencies are those who were largely responsible for the 2008-9 financial crisis? But look, let's not go into those lines. Let's come back to Nigeria. All I'm telling you, you're looking the wrong way. If you want to know what's happening in Nigeria, come to us in Nigeria and don't read those statistics because they are misleading. They always speak about growth. It's not growth actually that matters, those figures that give you, because there is nothing as misleading as far as welfare is concerned as growth. The stethoscope you use in measuring the heartbeat of an elephant, for example, China, cannot be the same one you use to measure the heartbeat of a rat. Smaller countries, I won't call any country a rat. Do you understand? Leave that aside. Let's come back to Nigeria and speak about what is happening in our streets, in our villages, in our markets. These people have not done any bold step. The only bold thing they did was to shut down IREV. The only bold thing they did was to misapply force on the weak Nigerian institutions that we have. Now, ask this question. For someone that has been playing God, in quotes, for such a long time like Alhaji Tinubu, and it is time for a mortal, like maybe Obi, or somebody to put him in his right place. For someone who has wielded so much power in a country like Nigeria, where is that power in the last 6 months for them to apply in our welfare and our security? They cannot do it. They are in power for themselves, for their ego, for their wealth, for their comfort, for their own considerations, not for Nigeria. We are pained about every soul that is killed, that is abducted and killed. We are pained by every naira that is paid as ransom. And we are committed to stopping that. And stopping we will. And I'm telling you, give these people...
as a member of the opposition?
Stopping we will whenever we get the power to do this.
So between now...
let me finish. Where is the power? The same kind of power they used in getting Mahmoud Yakubu 4 a.m. to declare them against the provisions of the Constitution. Where is that power? To prop up the exchange rate of Naira, to stop the killings. They don't have it and they will not do it.
Well, you did say that you wanted to move forward because obviously we've established the fact that the election is over. You have grievances against the results, but he's been affirmed by the Supreme Court.
You said methodical. Let's now be methodical. What I want to tell you is that the big picture, we say democracy is government. Well, let me just go. Democracy is not government of the people, for the people, by the people. Democracy is government of the people who have earned their rights, for the people who can protect their constitution, by the people who can exercise civil liberties.
So given what
when they say people, what kind of people? The people who will fold their arms while their constitution is violated, then democracy is not for you. I have said it. It belongs to only those who can practice it with due respect.
So
just hold on.
Right. I was going to ask you what your assessment of the state of democracy is in Nigeria, given what you just said.
It is poor. The people have to wake up to the challenges. For a people that are ready to accept anything, then anything will happen to them. Again, in quotes. You see, a fraction of 1% difference in a political DNA of a society can spell the difference between servitude and freedom. Last year you saw it. Indian farmers sat in a location for 1 year because of one obnoxious government policy until Indian government reversed it. Before the war in Israel, Israelis were in the street for 16 weeks, counting. You can count so many other countries. Nigerians are not yet ready to do this. As I'm speaking to you, the likes of my former friend who would say it's treason, is all that, I am educating Nigerians. Rise up for your rights. No justice of Supreme Court will give you democracy.
Yeah,
you have to go out.
But they're not going to be able to reverse that, are they?
They will.
I mean, they
Nigerians,
can't.
This is
Constitutionally,
no. Constitution and legal. And this is where I differ. With all modesty, okay, I don't mind being alone on this. But I know I'm not breaking any law, and I have never had a criminal record.
So what are you actually calling on the people to do? I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I'm getting to that.
Sure. Just that we're running out of time. So
I'm saying that, and again, this is instructive. I'm saying that we, the people that stood to form the Nigerian Constitution today, it is not over. For we, the people, power is that which remains standing when there is nothing to oppose it. A leader is he who remains followed when there is nobody to challenge. Authority is that which is implemented when there is nothing to stop it. They have the leaders in place now with wielding authority with political power. But power and sovereignty belongs to the Nigerian people, we the people, on whose behalf an elected government is exercising that authority. Now, where the people are dissatisfied with the rulings of their courts, they own Nigeria. Alhaji Tinubu does not own Nigeria. Peter Obi does not own Nigeria.
Yeah, but the
Nigerians on the streets own Nigeria.
But the
and
APC,
listen, I'm getting to the point.
The APC would argue that you don't own Nigeria either. That you have a portion of the electorate that voted for you.
I'm not telling you it is not over. I'm telling you it is not over. For Peter Obi and me, it is over. For we, the people, the Nigerian people, at any point in time, they can take back Nigeria. Especially where their constitution has been violated, especially where all that the Supreme Court ended up doing was to sustain the unconstitutionality of a certain election.
Let me come in here, because between now and 2027, which is when the next presidential election is due, how do you think things will play out, and what role do you see yourself and Peter Obi and the Labour Party playing in that?
When the Nigerian people rise to defend their constitution, anything can happen. And
well, that sounds quite a bit worryingly frightening.
We are in a worryingly frightening situation. I told you I'm not here to repeat what you've been hearing. And I was prepared to come here. I have never had a criminal record. I love my peace. And I'm repeating that when the Nigerian people decide, Nigeria is theirs for the taking. And any fraudulently elected government is fair game for them. Nigerian people have the right, the constitutional right. As we speak now, DSS can go and interpret. They have lawyers there. Police, IG, and every day can go and interpret. The Nigerian people have that power. Not Obi or Atiku or anybody. Nigerian people have the power at any point in time to take their country. All they have to do, not even seek approval, they give notice.
It's interesting.
And listen,
right.
You turn away the barrel of your guns, away from the Nigerian people, and point them at the enemies of Nigeria. This country belongs to Nigerians.
Well, you've made that point.
When Nigerians decide,
but
if they want to practice democracy,
right,
they will take this country. It has happened before. The military decided, they took Nigeria for so long, they fixed Nigeria and handed it back. Now, whoever thinks that the Supreme Court will give democracy from any courtroom, the way it appears now is mistaken.
It's interesting.
Nigerians have to go out.
Right, you've made that point.
Nigerians have to go out and democracy. And this is not a treasonable comment.
Right.
I am not a careless person. I have never.
So you've thought the things you're saying through.
I thought it through very, very well.
Well,
this is the Constitution is made by Nigerian people. The Supreme Court is a sub of one chapter that the Nigerian people constitutionally came out that we the people, and the same Constitution says that no person or groups of persons shall take over the governance of Nigeria or any part thereof except as prescribed by this Constitution. And go and read the Constitution of Nigeria. The serving Alhaji Tinubu Malam Shetima government breaches the Nigerian Constitution.
Right. Okay. Can I come in here for a minute?
Yes.
Because you mentioned Kashim Shettima. Yes. Your brother, the spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Hakeem Baba Ahmed, is of course now serving as a special advisor on political matters to the Vice President Kashim Shettima, which means that he might have to help Mr. Shettima to devise a strategy for dealing with political opponents such as yourself, his brother. Does that rub you up the wrong way, given all the things you've just said about that government? Your own brother is now working for them?
Charles, I am after the government. I'm not after appointment. I am after the president and the vice president who were fraudulently elected, unconstitutionally elected. I cannot come down to speak about any appointment. He is by far my senior brother, so there's no way to say he's an adult or he has his own rights or his own life to live. Our politics are completely detached. And in fact, it is his boss I know, not him. And his boss, since you brought this question, he is not exactly a responsible gentleman. With all the things they've been doing, now you brought up this issue, I didn't want to talk about it. You see, they attempted something on my safety, on my security, and I was able to find out 10 minutes to time. And God so kind, I was able to avoid. They tried any appointment. He is by far my senior brother, so there's no way to say he's an adult or he has his own rights or his own life to live. Our politics are completely detached. And in fact, it is his boss I know, not him. And his boss, since you brought this question, he is not exactly a responsible gentleman. With all the things they've been doing, now you brought up this issue, I didn't want to talk about it. You see, they attempted something on my safety, on my security, and I was able to find out 10 minutes to time. And God so kind, I was able to avoid. They tried to get me into one of those yellow houses down the road, get people to come and arrest me there, and use that to rig the judgment. I became so inquisitive, and I dodged within 10 minutes, only for me to come and find out, based on strong suspicion, where it came from. And with what I see, then the strangulations in Lagos in the past, yes, they happened, and they were for a reason. The people gunned down in Borno State, it happened, and yes, it was for a reason. I think Peter Obi and myself have been lucky to have stood today to give that press conference. So the least, taking my senior brother to give him an appointment, is the least of my worries. I'm not worried about any appointment.
Right. Well, let me bring in another.
If he likes, he can go and take the entire Baba Ahmeds and give them ministers. I don't mind.
Well, let me try.
I will still.
You'll still stand by the things you say.
It is an unconstitutionally.
Which is
Supreme
impressive that you stand firmly by your beliefs.
Yes.
But you were called fascist by the Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka because you and Peter Obi claimed you had won the election. He used those words. He accused you of trying to force a lie on the Nigerian people. How much did that broadside affect you, coming from someone with such a stature as Wole Soyinka?
Please, I respect him too much, and I have more important issues to discuss. Let's go to another question.
Right, so you don't want to talk about it.
I don't talk about
okay.
Soyinka. Come back to Shetima, and I'll talk about Shetima.
Well, let me talk about something.
A very irresponsible gentleman.
Let me talk about something that is
Be he
imminent.
the vice president or whatever that he is, I'm telling you that he has conducted himself in so many ways in these 6 months that demean the office of vice president, and I'm not happy about it, especially the way he's been treating our elder, Atiku Abubakar. For God's sake, Atiku Abubakar is getting to 80. He is by no measure of imagination Shetima's mate. How can Shetima come out and say that the Kanuris crack jokes with Fulanis, therefore he's going to retire him to Dubai or Morocco? And these are very personal issues. What kind of an irresponsible statement is that to make?
Well, I am not privy to having said that. For him,
I
having
am,
said
and
that.
it is true. And
obviously,
true.
the vice president's office.
So what I'm saying is that leave Soyinka out.
Yeah.
Bring who matters to me, like Shetima. Bring Alhaji Tinubu. Look, even Tinubu, I have much respect for Tinubu. You heard Shawari criticizing me for me calling Tinubu uncle. I call him uncle where I said, you saw the picture that I went to greet him in the mosque, and they said that I went to plead. No, it's just respect. But the fact that I respect his age doesn't mean that I will not call him a drug dealer.
Yeah, well,
or a certificate forger.
Well, I don't think you should call him those things.
I will,
unless you have
That is why I said do not
evidence
swear him in.
Yeah,
the evidence is there.
Yeah, but can I just make the point that on Arise News, they have a right to reply to the things that you said.
One of them will come tomorrow.
And we're giving them that.
One of them will come tomorrow. Let them come
and say that. We're giving them that right.
Let them come and say that he didn't forfeit $460,000.
Well,
let them come and say that the
I want to tackle you. I want to bring up issues, and I don't mean to interrupt you. My apologies, okay. But I want to deal with issues because we've got about 5 minutes or so left. I want to deal with issues that are upcoming because you did say at the outset you wanted to move forward. Off-season elections are, of course, due on November the 11th. In 3 states, Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo. The Inspector General of Police has just redeployed the Commissioner of Police.
That's not my line. Leave
in
it.
Imo.
I don't have any answer for you. That's not my line.
Right, because I was going to ask you, is it, I mean, we saw, for example, to assess the chances of the Labour Party there.
That's not my line. Come back to the substance of democracy, of what the Fourth Republic has done. You know, we all have our specialities in this game that we do. I don't know about those elections.
Yeah, but you're the vice presidential candidate of the party.
Not that
and the more your party gains political traction,
speak to me on
where I have strength.
I know, speak to me where I have strength on. That one is for the party chairman and His Excellency, my boss, Peter Obi. They can handle that, but come back to the issue of constitutional breach. Come back to the issue of the rights of the Nigerian people. Come back to the fact that I keep telling you, it is not over. If the Nigerian people decide to rise, they will reclaim Nigeria. The Europeans came, there was no constitution, and they had power. They colonized Africa. So power is when you have the power to do and nobody can say. Now, Nigerians can take this power because their constitution has been breached.
Right.
That constitution is their
own.
They had faith. Right. Nigerians had faith.
I think you've made that point over and over again.
Right.
We've got about 3 minutes left.
Yes.
What is your next move?
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That was the interview today. I was expecting it to, that was just about 2 minutes to the end anyway. So, I mean, it was a full video. You can see it was a really full video, man. Look, you've watched this video. You've listened to what Mr. Sensei said. Peter Obi said during the word conference. I listened to Dathi, what he said. We have to take our country back. It's plain and clear. You don't need to hear any other thing again. You don't need a soothsayer again. You don't need an interpreter again. Even if you don't hear, say you are deaf, you don't hear. This one, definitely you will hear it. The power belongs to the people. The people have to take it back. The people got to take it back. Look, man, he has spent it out. He has said it all. I don't know what you guys want to hear again. We should not condone irregularity. For how long should we be living like that? We should not condone illegality. Nigeria is blessed. Nigeria is blessed. Nigeria is blessed. He has said it. No censorship. He has said it plain and clear. Supreme Court has failed the people. Number one, INEC failed the people. From there, Supreme Court failed the people. Now, Nigeria, the power belongs to you. The people owns the power. They have the right to take anything back they want to take back. That's what I have to say. You've heard me. I will make this rebroadcast again. I'm going to do it, this rebroadcast. I want it to sink to everybody's ear. First of all, I played the President Obi's press conference. The press conference, you heard it, what he said. After that, I played Dathi. Dathi, you heard what he said. Nigerians are used to bearing, suffering, complaining in silence. Complain out. Complain out. Stop complaining inside. Stop killing yourself. Stop. People are jumping to the lagoon. People are hanging themselves. People are suffering. School fees are being hiked. And meanwhile, the salary is the same. The jobs for people, they are silent. People are stealing money. They are buying SUV. They are talking of yacht. They are talking of first lady SUVs. They are talking of of senators and reps having SUVs for what? Yes, they say it's official car. Look, we have to fix the people first. The people are suffering. Healthcare is poor. Education. Oh, I saw a video. Oh God. Public school. Public school. No roof, nothing. I never really know it's been like this, really. That that was a school, one of the best schools in that one of the best schools in that state. Last time they told me that the school they don't have teachers. I think they said they had just few teachers. I said, "Are you serious?" Class one, those days class one. That time, okay, they have class one to class five. Before the JSS stuff and SS stuff, we used to have maybe one to E or to F, then two to E or F. We class different teachers. Now they don't have that. One guy will be teaching physics, teaching chemistry, teaching mathematics. I said, are you serious? I was I was just thinking, I say, this can't be true. And this is one of the schools or the one of the best schools there. So I don't wonder those other schools, what would be right now the outcome right now? I just wonder now. And this is what they don't care. This is that they don't care. They allow the private institution to take over everywhere. I'm not against that, man, which is very good to supplement their education. But the school fees for the people that don't have the money, how can they pay it? Look, guys, defend your constitution. The voice of the people is the highest constitution. It surpassed the Supreme Court. If the country is doing well, it depends on you. If the country is doing bad, it depends on you. Stop blaming the politicians because you have the power to change what you want to change. Enough is enough. You have the power to change what you want to change. Enough is enough. All those in diaspora, those obedient, please, now is the time. If you don't give up, if you don't lose hope, the battle has just begun. We heard Excellence Peter Obi saying that the battle has just begun. This is just about 18 months. The battle has been just about 18 months. And we've done excellently well. Kudos to everyone, but we should not give up. We should not give up. That is the slogan right now, taking our country back, making Nigeria work again. The voice of the people must be heard. It must be heard. And it will be heard. And it will be heard. Well, let me say one thing. What we are doing is not personal thing. It's not for personal interest. I don't know Peter Obi. I don't know anybody in the Labour Party. I don't care to. I don't want to know those people. I don't really. For me, I don't belong to any of. I don't. I don't know. What was? It's not for personal interest. Don't know that somebody will say tomorrow. No, we want the goodness of our country. We want our country to prosper. We want the people to. We want the best for our country. That's what we are. That's what we are. That's what we are doing. This. We have people on Twitter talking, speaking. They just want the best. They want people to know the truth. They want people that are suffering to come out of that poverty, out of that slavery, out of that bondage. They should stop worshiping people. They should respect, they should come out of that share. They should be themselves. You have something inside you, something God has deposited inside of you to make you great. Bring it out. Stop begging all these politicians. Bring it out. You can be the senator. You can be the House of Rep. You can be the House of Assembly. You can be the councillor. You can be the chairman. You can be the governor. You can be the president. You can do it, man. Don't think you don't have the resources. Everything is inside of you. Everything is inside of you. Just you know what to do. Just break it out. Believe it. Just believe. You can make it happen. Break out that fire in you, man. Change situation. Change things. Change the country. Change things. Change the system around you. You've suffered for too long. Come on. You suffer for too long. You suffer for too long. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. According to that senator, you don't be lying. If you talk, you die. If you don't talk, you die. So just talk. Talk. Quiet, you are dying, you are killing yourself, jump into the lagoon. That Nigeria is so funny. It's so funny. Okay, now, last time in Enugu State, the court declared that Peter Umba had no case to answer, that is free, no shaking, all the petition against him. I mean, he holds no water. NYC came out to say that what the guy presented is forged. It's not from the they came out to say it, to give the evidence that thing did not cause. It's not from them that the guy forged it. Today, the court has ruled. Oh God. Nigeria is a comedy. Nigeria, court has ruled that court has disagreed that what NYC said. They disagree with them. They have authenticated the certificate Petamba presented. They said it's correct, that it's not forged, that they said it's authentic. Not just only that, they awarded I think, how much was it? I think 5 million naira in damages to Umba. And NYC should pay it for them to say that the certificate was not from them. Is Nigeria not a funny country? Judiciary is that not a funny country? I mean, judiciary is that a funny establishment? I produce this now, this phone. Somebody said, I produce iPhone. Somebody brought an iPhone. They called me. I said, this iPhone you brought, it's not from me. I didn't do this iPhone. Then you, the judge, that said that I'm lying. That I am lying. I should pay fine for saying that thing was forged. It's me that it's from my office. It's me that I own it. I see this one. It's not. I did not do this iPhone. This I know my iPhone. I do. You are saying I'm lying. Nigeria, God help Nigeria, man. God help Nigeria. Nigeria, God help Nigeria. I don't know what to say, but the power is in our hand, guys. You out there, take your country back. Take your country back. Ahmed Dathi has said it all. He has said it. Judiciary has failed. INEC has failed. Now, Nigerians, don't fail yourself. Don't fail your children. Don't fail the people yet unborn. You have to take your country back. The word is enough for the wise. With this, I'll call it a day. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Definitely, I will make a podcast of this. I want you to like, share, make comments. What do we do next? What is the next step? What do we do next? We have to take our country back. They have said it all. They have come to the climax. Supreme Court has ruled. We don't trust. They failed. They have failed. They have failed. But the power belongs to the people. It's in the Constitution. The power belongs to the people. What are you going to do? What? Make a comment, okay? I want to see comments. I want to see comments before tomorrow evening. I want to see a lot of comments. What are we going to do? What do you think you can do? That is it. Make the comments and let's make it work. We have to make it work. All right? All right, guys. I will go right now. So that's it for today. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.